Now, when Uthman Dan Fodio finished his conquest in 1808, he now designated the, the northeast to his son, Mohammed Bello. Okay, Mohammed Bello, what you know today as Ahmadu Bello. That was the son of Uthman Dan Fodio. Then the west of it, he now handed it over to his brother, Abdullah, and created a capital, which was Gwandu. He created a capital, which was Gwandu, for Abdullah to rule from. Then created a capital called Sokoto for his son, Mohammed Bello, to rule from. I don't know if you're understanding the story. It was the Fulanis that created Sokoto. It was the Fulanis that created Gwandu. Why you had the aboriginal states or kingdoms in the north. So when they conquered them, they now created Sokoto as their caliphate. And from there, they were controlling all those other northern kingdoms. Okay, the likes of Daura, Kano, Zaria, Katsina, Goba, Rano, Biram. Okay, so that was how it went. Now, the only kingdom that we are not conquered was Boronu. Initially, Boronu was merged together with Kanem. It was called Kanem Bonu. Okay, now today, Kanem is in Chad, while Boronu is in Nigeria here. Okay, it was initially called Kanem Bonu. Okay, later they had to part ways. Okay, but they still related. Okay, now the reason why Boronu did not fall, which I told you that it is only Boronu that still hosts both its traditional institutions and all that. Now, Danfodio succeeded in conquering Boronu. Then after a year, Boronu was taken back again. And that was done by the help of a sheikh or shehu from Kanem. He was later called Elkanemi. The northerners, I think you have Elkanemi warriors or something. That is where that name came from. Okay, Elkanemi, one man from, he's a sheikh. They call him shehu. He's from Kanemi in Chad. Kanem, okay? So he was called Elkanemi. So whenever Uthman takes over Boronu, he comes with his soldiers and drive them away and reclaim the place. He goes back. Then the second time, the same thing repeated again. He also came, drove them away, took back the kingdom. Okay, so this time he monitored the kingdom until when he now handed power. That was 1846. He now gave power to his son, Omar, to start the leadership. That is why the kingdom of Boronu was not taken by the caliphate. Okay, so that is just all about the north. Okay, so that is all about the northern Nigeria, what you have today as the northern Nigeria. These people had their civilization, they had their development, they had their growth, they had everything that has to do with them. The Goba people was rich, very wealthy. They were into cattle trading and so many others. A man like Leo Africanus also recorded of this. Okay, when he visited them, that was in the 16th century. Okay, he visited them around 1509 and also went again around 1513. Okay, he recorded these things. So these individual kingdoms and states, they had their development long before the Fulanis came. It was actually the Fulanis that truncated their growth, their development, and everything that has to do with them. So that is how it happened, okay? So when Danfodio took over, they started taxation, they started their radical Islamism, and also selling of northerners as slaves, okay? Slave trading and all that, okay? So that is all about how the Fulanis conquered the hausas of Nigeria, or the northern part of Nigeria, okay? So that is it. If you have any question, you can ask. Once I get the comments in my distance, then I will be able to address them as well. Thank you very much. I believe you've learned something. Kindly leave a comment.